I'm going to bet New England. Yeah. I like dogs. Earlier this year, I fell into a trap of betting favorites. That was stupid. I don't do that. By the way, one scoop every day, mdrivestart.com. One scoop, all it takes every day, mdrivestart.com. Chocolate mousse in the morning. Fantastic. Joy with the news.
No. Turn on the news. This is the Herd Line News.
This week, Brett Favre praised his former teammate, Aaron Rodgers, saying that aside from the Super Bowls, he is probably the greatest player ever.
Aside from the Super Bowls, those are sort of important.
Aside from the things that we all play for. Rodgers couldn't help but smile when he was asked about the comments, though.
I love Favre. He's such an interesting, unique guy as well. He shoots from the hip, so he kind of says what's on his mind all the time. It's fun to be back in touch with him and to have that friendship and that kinship. And I appreciate anything that he says.
Oh,
look how happy. He's so happy.
So cute. Little bromance.
And I like it.
I think it's nice because, the stories were that he wasn't very welcoming to Aaron Rodgers.
Well, first of all, if you were Brett Favre and all of a sudden this really talented kid shows up, and by the way, he's younger and hipper than you. He's California. He's good looking. He's young and hip. You're a good old Southern boy. And he's kind of the story is, Aaron would, poke a few things in his ribs. I'm not blaming Favre for all that. Aaron probably loved poking Favre. That's his personality.
I mean, I don't think it's outside of human nature for anyone to be a little prickly in that situation. I just think it's cute that they're friends now. But aside from that, I mean, I think there are some people who believe that Aaron Rodgers is a better overall quarterback than Tom Brady. Before the Atlanta Super Bowl, we were still having the conversation who was better, Aaron Rodgers or Tom Brady, with all of the Super Bowls that Tom Brady had before that Super Bowl. I just feel like after that Super Bowl, we all was just kind of like, okay, he's just the best. He's the GOAT of quarterbacks.
Not the most talented.
But the greatest player of all time, I think a lot of people give that to Lawrence Taylor.
Jerry Rice.
Yeah.
It's different. In basketball, the reason Magic, LeBron, and MJ and Kobe are so often called like greatest players and stuff is because they just have more talent. But in football, we tend to talk more about productivity.
Well, that's why the Jordan conversation has lasted for as long as it has, because he did have the productivity and the championships and the talent.
That's right. And so I think, I don't think, if you're asking me most talented, let's just change the topic to most talented quarterbacks of my life. I would say Marino 1, Elway 2. Boy, Mahomes is way up there. Aaron, Favre. I wouldn't put Tom in that. So again, you're talking talent. Aikman was a really good quarterback. But
why do we do that with Tom? Is it just because we just consider him unathletic?
I think because we ask quarterback, for instance, Peyton Manning literally changed football. Peyton was so smart, it was like Gary Kasparov with chess. You had to put him against a computer. So I think Peyton changed the game intellectually, and it forced coaches and other teams to go, God, this guy is literally going to the line with 4 plays. So I look at quarterbacks. I think Peyton's the smartest. I think Dan Marino is one of the most gifted, talented guys. I think if you ask Troy Aikman, he would tell you, he would look at Dan Marino and go, some of Dan's throws, and I think Rodgers tends to fall in the Dan Marino class where the ball comes out of his hand faster. It's almost like if you took a big seed, and you press your fingers together and it squirted out. That's what the ball looks like.
It just looks better.
It just looks better. And I think Aaron, it's remarkable how many people think I don't like Aaron. There's things that bother me, and I think I was the first to notice some body language stuff. But in terms of talent, I think I could make an argument that Mahomes, Aaron, Marino are about as talented and Elway as anybody I've ever seen.
It's really also tough to have the who's the best football player conversation
without a bunch of wins.
Well, no, I mean just like who's the best player. Like you have defense. Like it's the best defensive players, the best quarterback. Like a wide receiver is not going to play defensive end. Like the positions are so different. Whereas in basketball, LeBron plays all the positions.
Aaron Donald There's the biggest gap in this league is Aaron Donald and the next best defensive lineman.
So that's probably the better conversation. Like, who has the biggest separation between 1 and 2?
And it would be Aaron Donald.
Position.
And Reggie White in his day.
Yep.
The second best defensive lineman was not close to Reggie White.
So the Dolphins defense has been good this season, but they'll have their hands full with the Chiefs on Sunday. Brian Flores has experience facing Mahomes and the Chiefs from his time with the Patriots, and he knows this game's going to be a challenge.
Yeah, I remember it was hard to stop him. It's still hard to stop. It's probably harder to stop him now. They've got a little bit of a killer instinct. Mahomes has got it. Kelsey's got it. I mean, I wish we could have 14 defenders. That'd be nice.
Well, I like Flores making a joke, which is a completely straight face. They're tough this season. Number 2 in scoring offense, number 1 in total offense, number 1 in passing offense, 16 in rushing offense. But the Dolphins defense is playing really well. They have this number 2 scoring defense. They're kind of middle of the road in total defense, passing defense, and rushing defense. But they are number 2 in takeaways with 21. Only the Steelers have more.
Yeah. I mean, listen, of all the layers of offense, coaching check, quarterback play, protection, weaponry, it's just they're A in all of them. And that's very rare. They're A in all of them.
They really feel the Chiefs like a team.
Yeah.
Like, there's moments with the Steelers where I'm like, everything's not quite fluid yet.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like, I feel like the defense is there, but offensively, I still feel like there's like just some stuff that needs to be worked out. You can see that with the Ravens. You can see that with really every team. The Chiefs feel like they all got it. Like, they know each other. They know where they're supposed to be. They just feel so comfortable and fluid offensively. So they're going to be a problem. But I do think this is going to be more of a competitive game than people think, the Chiefs and Dolphins. So the Nets are reportedly on James Harden's list of teams that he would like to be traded to. The move would obviously reunite Harden and Kevin Durant, formerly of the Thunder, together, but KD isn't giving those rumors much attention. He said, "I don't think about James Harden at all. He doesn't play on our team."
I like that. That's actually the right answer.
It is. Harden has reportedly expanded his list of preferred trade destinations. In addition to the Nets and 76ers, he would be open to join the Bucks and the Heat.
Well, that's where he wants to go. That's nonsense. Milwaukee, he doesn't fit. Jimmy Butler and James Harden. Jimmy Butler would resent James Harden's game.
I think they could make it work, but the only way you're coming to the Heat is if you're buying into what's going on with the Heat. Otherwise, the Heat aren't going to do it. That's not the type of organization they are.
First of all, nightlife Harden in Miami.
I mean, look, he's earned that reputation, so you can't
pass.
There's no way he hasn't earned that reputation. It's definitely something.
Yeah.
A little bit of NBA news from Woj. Paul George has signed a maximum contract extension with the Clippers that'll guarantee him as much as $226 million over the next 5 years.
Well, you better start playing better in the postseason.
That is a commitment. Clippers are all in.
They're all in. Joy with the news.
Well, that's the news.
And thanks for stopping by.
The Herd Lie News.
So, I've said this. There are certain awards in sports that I think have value. I'm not a big awards person. Like, I watch the games. I bet the games. I love data. I love mock drafts. I'm not really an award guy. And I've said this. Joy and I have both worked in, like, local radio and stuff. You know who can play and who can't. When the red light comes on, this little red light right here thing, it's on right now. When the red light's on, are you a player or not? Some people are terrified. Oh my God, I don't know what to say. Some people aren't. Awards are subjective, Emmys and local TV. None of that stuff ever mattered. All the best people I work with were too busy breaking stories to worry about a resume tape and winning awards. I just don't care. Sports is the same. Yeah, there's a handful are okay. But the worst award in sports is the NBA MVP because it's called most valuable. And I'll give you an example. This year in the NFL, I would give it to Aaron Rodgers and then Patrick Mahomes. If they were on the open market, everybody would want them. I mean, all but like one or two teams, right? Like that's how valuable they are. Everybody would want Mahomes if he's on the market. Almost everybody would want Aaron. In baseball, Mookie Betts or a Mike Trout. On the open market, if you could afford them, everybody would want them. In hockey, and I may get this name wrong, Leon Draisaitl. Boom! Everybody would want him. Heisman Trophy, Joe Burrow. If you offered him to the nation, a lot of people would want him.